I don't know.
You are live.
Hey yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Manny, and I'm coming to you live from the Manny J Media. Today is Art Studio here in Elm Park in Worcester, and I'm with the one, the only, my friend, Miss Nani, aka Nayara Veras of Envy Creations. Welcome to the show. How are
Thank you.
you?
I'm very happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. So, in case you haven't noticed, we're all covered, like, the scene is a little shot up with all this stuff in our way, but there's a big reason for that, and that is today is a special episode of Innerviews where you're going to teach me how to paint while we talk.
Yes.
That's so fun.
This is fun painting. This isn't fine art, so we're definitely going to have a lot of fun.
All right, so let's get started with the painting. That
Okay.
way I can kind of talk to you while we're doing the thing, because obviously we don't have all day. We're
Right.
kind of limited for time. So we want to try to get these done before the end of the show. That way we could show you guys our fantastic artwork, right?
We're going to keep it super simple. We're going to start with
So I need the big one?
large brush. Yeah, we'll
Okay.
do some white.
Okay.
And then grab a little bit of blue on your brush, too.
All right. So, full disclosure, I don't know how to paint.
That's okay. So, and then we're just going to paint the whole thing from the top to the bottom.
Top to the bottom. All right. All right. So, while I'm doing that, oh, God, I already got red on my brush. How did I do that? Okay. So, while we're doing this, let me start with my first question, and that is to find out a little bit about you, who you are, where you come from. So, tell me about your journey, starting from the beginning. How was your childhood like?
So my childhood was very, very reserved. I grew up in a Pentecostal household. Just add some more white, just white all the way down.
I'm making such a mess on this canvas.
Isn't it great? So, yeah, I grew up Pentecostal, very, very reserved.
Okay.
Didn't really go much places elsewhere. I struggled in school. I actually, struggled with ADHD. That was pretty undiagnosed growing up. So that was pretty difficult for me. But, we all get through it. I started my adulthood at a very young age and had my first child at the age of 17.
Oh, wow, okay.
So now my son is 17.
You do not look like you're going to have a 17-year-old kid. That's wild.
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm 34 years old, guys. I mean,
wow.
I get that a lot. Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you. And so, so I lived a very independent life at a very young age. So we
how's that look? Am I doing it right? It
yes.
looks way different than
no,
yours.
I know. I'm gonna add some blue on mine too because
so,
you got a lot of blue going on.
Growing up, I didn't have cable because I grew up in the 90s and we were poor. And so, we had cable. That's kind of a lie. We had cable on and off, kind of sporadically. Either, we had a hot box, or every now and then my mom was able to put the cable on. Or, especially like in my bedroom, I remember I had like this little portable television thing, and it could only get PBS. Point of bringing all that up is to say I used to watch Bob Ross a lot.
Oh, yes,
now,
yes.
Are there really happy accidents in painting?
There are, but they are. It's really meant to be a very stress-free, environment. Okay, I do go on site, and I, just like this, I would set up for you on a bigger scale, with all the gadgets and scenery and all that jazz. But it's all about having a good time, and I do give like a step-by-step guidance. Just add more light to that. And
on the bottom, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter where you want it. It's gonna be your sky.
Look, I got green in there. I got all the colors I'm probably not supposed to have in there.
It's fine. You're doing fine. And so, so I lived a very independent life. I got my first apartment at the age of 18. I went through the SAMS program. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No, what is SAMS?
So SAMS is a state assistance program. It's for school-aged mothers. Okay. So I fell into that program shortly after having my son. And so I lived in a home, like it seems like a sheltered program home with other teen moms. Yeah. And I graduated out of that and got my diploma. They put me back in school after I had my child. I needed to go back like junior year, so I was behind a year, and I was able to get my first apartment before I even finished high school. Oh, wow. So they were like, you better finish. I'm like, of course. So, I took the city bus, 5 o'clock in the morning, dropped off my son at daycare, got myself to high school and graduated. I met some amazing.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
dope.
you. I met some amazing friends my senior year, and we're still friends today. And yeah, so and then I put myself through college,
Mm.
which was a whole nother thing, and I got my associates in medical office, which was great.
Which is not what you're doing today.
No, no.
This is not medical office work.
No, but it just had a therapeutic.
Where did art begin for you?
At the age of 25, believe it or
Really?
not. Yes. I started doing.
So before 25, you weren't really a painter or anything like that.
No,
You're just a mom.
when you're young, you dabble, you sketch, you enjoy making things. So I've always been a bit of a you know, Tinkerbell, right?
Okay.
I used to tinker with a lot of things, and I grew up with three older boys, and they did all the construction and the painting and all that jazz. So I learned how to, hammer a nail into a wall and all that jazz. I wasn't treated like a girl.
Well, that's good.
At all.
I mean, talk about self-sufficiency, right?
Yeah.
You became real independent at a young age, which is important as a mom too.
Yes.
And you were a single mom.
Yeah.
Are a single mom.
Yes, I am.
And so, of a boy.
Yes.
Which is really important for you, being brought up by your brothers to be able to then raise your son as a single mom. Like that was a gift.
Yeah, no,
like
my brothers have been.
Right?
Yes, my brothers were definitely. They treat me like a princess sometimes, but it's still mighty. So they're still boys.
Right.
So yeah, no, that was great. And so living on my own at a very young age and providing, finding outlets and just going out and doing things was kind of my thing. So got my associates. Now we can just
is that good?
That's beautiful.
Is that,
I think it's beautiful.
Is that the sky we're looking for?
Show you
okay. Yeah, I'll show you guys an update of where we got so far.
It looks so good.
I'm gonna look like a liar.
Woo!
Hey, all right.
I think it's great. So we're just gonna let that dry and we can talk.
Okay.
And so yeah, so I got my associates. I still had my apartment over at the Curtis Apartments, and
so Great Brook Valley girl.
Yes.
Shout out to Great Brook Valley.
Born and raised in Worcester, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. So when they knew they did the whole new renovation at the front.
Yeah.
I got one of those apartments. So.
Okay.
Yes, and super grateful, because I'm 17.
Right.
First apartment. And that felt very, very good. So I fell into the mental health field and worked for an outpatient psych practice for 7-8 years.
Oh,
and
wow.
so in between that, at the age of 25, I found an outlet, which was painting. And
I'm sure in the psych field is such a relief, because you see so much. You see so much hurt and pain and suffering. Working in that field, because a lot of people who come in for treatment obviously aren't doing their best.
Yes, no, and then they look forward to seeing you, and I look forward to seeing my patients.
Well, I mean, your energy is amazing.
Thank
it's
you.
Definitely uplifting and positive. So I would be looking forward to seeing you as well.
Manny, I want to hug you. Yes, no, I loved my relationship with my patients and with my providers, and I ran the practice. So I worked my way up from front desk receptionist to scheduling and all that jazz to then management, assisted management, and then general management throughout the years. So So yes, it was all about evolving, about bettering, and growing the practice at the time too. It did come to a point where, especially during COVID, that the practice grew so big that it became so overwhelming, and with the COVID regulations and the changes and everything and the internal operations, it was just so overwhelming. And so I started to hone in on painting a lot more. And, as if it wasn't stressful enough, I went from one job to 2 jobs. So I decided to get a second job painting. And then that became a bit of a conflict at home.
Explain that to me. What do you mean you had a second job painting? Did you go work for someone and you just did whatever they needed you to paint, or?
No, so Muse Paint Bar. Muse Paint Bar is where I honed in at, my painting. So I worked at behavioral health care, and then I worked at Muse, and I did exactly that.
And where's Muse?
They're in by where Apex is.
Okay, Marlboro.
Is that Marlboro?
I think so. That's where I know where Apex
Marlboro,
is.
Westboro. I'm not sure.
In that area.
Okay. Over there.
Over by the boroughs.
Right, the boroughs. And so they couldn't really accommodate like the hours and things like that because I did want to make that change, right? I was like, okay, I think I have done my part with the behavioral health, the mental health field,
Yeah.
and I would love to just pursue my passion.
Now, let me just back up a little bit. So, when you went into the behavioral health, mental health field, was that something that you initially thought was going to be your career for life?
Oh, yes,
And so, this
absolutely.
painting venture came in afterwards, initially as a source of relief, right?
Yes,
As
a
a
hobby. That's
something
my
just to
hobby.
get your mind away from the rigors and stresses of everyday life,
Yeah.
just to woosah a little bit.
Mhm. It
You were
was my
painting,
outlet. Yeah,
and
definitely my outlet.
where did the pivot come in? Where, because I know why you did it, but I'm struggling to see how you turned it from a hobby, something that you love to do, and pivot it into something where I'm making money on this now.
Oh, yes.
Did you
So,
just find out you were so good at it?
I mean, and it wasn't through me per se. It was everyone else's feedback that I was
Okay.
getting. Oh, this is amazing. This is great. I was like, you can do this too. But
Yeah.
you can do this too. And now, the my my friends and all of my acquaintances, you know, they aspire to do these things too. And I'm like, well, I can teach you. And so I, as a teacher, because I am, I love to be able to guide and teach, and we're people of service, right?
Yeah.
So I honed in on that, and then so I just decided I can do this. But if Muse can be successful, and although they weren't able to provide me with the hours that I wanted, because that's just how the industry works, it's
Yeah.
kind of their operations are a little different. I can do this myself, right? And so with the support of my family, I was able to leave both of those jobs and open up and
Wow.
start my own business.
All right, we're gonna get more into that in just a second, because it's not as easy as you just made it sound to just open a business. There's a
Like,
little bit more to that, but we might be getting ahead of ourselves. Before all of this, though, you went through your own personal health journey, which really excited to talk about because I'm currently going through my own personal health journey.
Yes.
I turned 40 this year, and I was like, bro, you got to get your stuff together because we want to live to like 100. So
I think
now's
you
the
look
time.
great, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
I saw you this past summer, and you look great.
Yeah, I've been working on it a little bit each day. Maybe some unconventional method, shall we say?
Okay.
But whatever it takes, as a former big person yourself,
Yes, yes.
you understand like every day is such a struggle.
It is.
Literally, from the moment you wake up, your mind starts going of how we're gonna get through this day. Just getting out of bed can be so painful. Um, so I already kind of hinted to everybody what your health journey is.
Yes.
Take me on that.
Okay, so as you know, I was 215 pounds not even 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, and how tall are you, if you don't mind
I'm
sharing?
4'11".
Which matters in the
Yes.
in the height weight ratio,
Right.
because you look different. The shorter you are,
Yes.
the more. Because when you're 6 foot tall, 215 pounds,
And I
mean,
carried it very
Hemsworth.
well. Everyone's like, "Oh, you don't look it," and but you learn to dress for
Yeah.
your body type.
Well, that's
and-
because us as Puerto Ricans, we know how to put it in
We
the
wear
right
things right.
spots. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get that curve. You know where it gets placed in the
in the right places,
Yeah.
right? So yes, I decided to, after numerous attempts and yo-yoing, I decided to go through the weight loss program at UMass.
Yeah.
And I had the sleeve surgery July 1st of 2022. And so that's when everything kind of like sort of began. And it was the same year I opened my business too.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of things going on all at the same time, and that never changes as an entrepreneur. There's a lot of things
Right.
going on
Life
at the same
still
time.
lives.
Life stays life and
Yeah.
you just gotta life.
And you gotta go with roll with the punches. Otherwise, you're gonna get beat down and counted out. So you have to stay up and stay fighting. It's not easy, but
It's
you
not.
you really, I mean, from switching jobs to starting your own business to managing your weight loss, which obviously throughout your whole life has been a yo-yo,
Yeah.
up and down.
Way to keep life
struggle.
interesting, right?
Yeah. And I'm very familiarized with it. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because we've gone through all the different. I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, why don't you just get up and exercise and eat right?" It's not always that easy.
It's not always that easy. No, It's not because if everything was easier said than done,
Yeah.
we would all be superhuman, you
Yeah.
know. But everything is a struggle, and everything tends to be a fight, and everything good doesn't come easy. So, working towards it, I always say pick your heart because getting the surgery was definitely not easy. It does give you your battles of mental health as well as the weight loss journey. And then you also experience levels of fatigue too because your body is, you now have a portion of your organ that's missing.
Right.
So, that all takes time for your mind and your body to adjust to.
And also, I don't know if scientifically this is right, but in my mind, it would make sense that your body's adjusting to a whole nother way of fueling, right?
Yes.
So you're getting a lot less input
Yes.
food wise.
Oh yeah, no, my
So your
liquid
output
diet was
is
so strict in the
yeah.
beginning. I took a lot of collagen beverages. I took a lot of protein beverages, and that was my intake for a very long time. And then I ate like a bird. I still kind of sort of do eat like a
Yeah.
bird still, but that's okay, and I'm
Right.
okay with that. And as long as we're healthy, right? And so yeah, so I went that route, and the recovery was difficult because a week after my surgery, I went back into intensive. I discovered they discovered a leak,
Oh
and so
wow.
yeah, so I couldn't sit
So
still.
your stomach contents are leaking out into the your
Yes,
stomach cavity, in
yes,
other words,
mm-hmm.
and that's not good.
Yes. So let's just say battery acids. My system was shutting down
Oh no.
after the first week, and I fell back into intensive care, and I was in the hospital for 2-3 weeks, which stunk,
Wow.
and also took a damper on my business.
Right.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of struggle since opening my small business.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk more about your small business and the struggles you faced, and also some of the things that you've overcome and the achievements that you've recently just experienced, which I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on all of your current success. We're going to do that right after we take a look at our sponsors. Thank you so much for tuning in to Interviews Live with Nayari Veras of Envy Creations.
Era.
Like you are, but yeah. So let's get back to the painting. Obviously, try to
Okay.
put whatever we're gonna
How
put
much
on
time
there.
do we have between
Do
commercials?
that.
Oh, okay.
And welcome back to Interviews Live with your boy Manny,
Nayari Veras with Envy Creations.
and we are here to talk about your amazing journey and also your amazing business, which I have just learned about in the past 2 years when I met you. We could talk about that for a minute.
Oh my God, yes. So we planned this day
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yes,
We did.
2 years
It's
ago.
been so hard for us to get together. And I don't know why, but whatever. We're here now,
It's okay.
and I'm so happy that we finally did it. But yes, we definitely sat. I think we were sitting at the bar at Nuestra,
Yes.
and I was drinking water because I don't really drink like that.
And I was behind the bar because I bartended there.
That's right, and we
Yeah.
were just chatting, and I was like, "Bro, I love your paintings," because at that time you're doing paint parties at Nuestra.
Yes, yes.
So for those that aren't familiar, which I don't know where you've been, Nuestra was a restaurant, a Puerto Rican restaurant in
Yes.
Bull Mansion in Worcester.
That
so,
all of us supported, like we,
Yes.
and in
But
turn
she also supported
us.
us and
Yes.
gave us opportunities. You know,
Absolutely.
you as a bartender was a huge opportunity, but also being able to do your paint parties where you work, so you'd be able to promote that all week. And
Absolutely.
it was, and so that's really how you and I got acquainted. Is I saw your beautiful paintings, and I couldn't help but to talk to you about them.
Thank you.
And then I was like, doing the show and all the stuff, and we got to have you on, and we could paint. And so, yeah, it's amazing how far we've come. Right?
I'm telling you, I'm very grateful to this day that upon opening my business, I did have the support of my family,
and also your community.
Yes, no,
How
of course.
How did that come about?
Okay, so so I just started to kind of get out there, right? Remember, I kind of mentioned I was very, very reserved, and starting a business, you really need to put your foot physically out there, and start to get to know your community, right? And so I started looking up outdoor events, vending positions, and getting acquainted with other small businesses that
And
way.
again, just to be clear, your business is painting.
Yes, it's on
So
site
people
and
can
virtual
hire
paint
you
party
to
services.
paint something for them,
I do
or
commissions as well. I've
okay, so
done plenty of commissions as
and
well.
then you also have prints and
And artwork.
painted canvases that
Yes.
you sell at different community events,
Yes.
and then you do the paint party.
Yes.
So that's what MV Creations kind of encompasses.
And it keeps growing and it keeps bleeding into different pockets of different opportunities, which I'm so grateful for, because I was also selected from a outsourced client to paint for them for hospitals and hospital rooms, and
Okay,
you know,
tell
and
me a little bit more about that.
so I was vending.
Yeah.
I was vending out in the community, and so I have other business owners looking at NV Creations, and they're saying, "What can you do for me?" Right?
Right.
And I said, "I can create anything for you." Right? And so she's just like, "Oh my goodness, I would love this type of painting," because they look at my style, they look at my portfolio and what I have to offer. And she said, "I would love this in one of my patient rooms." And I said, "I can totally work with you to do that."
Yeah.
So I'm super blessed to have come to, or have been chosen, and or how do I say, the universe has really called these groups of people towards me to provide for them and be of service to them too. So right now I'm working on a few pieces that will be displayed at EMS Memorial Patient radiology rooms, oncology rooms, recovery rooms, and
that's so amazing.
I'm so grateful, and that's
what an amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
And just think, I mean, it's almost a full circle thing as well, because you started out in the healthcare field. You turned your business into you turned your passion for art into a business, and now the healthcare field is commissioning you to now bless their patients. Because, bro, when I went to the hospital, and I'm sure you did too, it's so boring there, and you do tend to look around, and you look at the prints on the wall, which are also, the prints are very, I don't know.
They're therapeutic. It's a therapeutic outlet.
Yeah.
And honestly, trust me, when I was inpatient, towards the end, I found myself roaming around in circles inside that department, trying to get out of there, trying to recover. Because one of the things about me is I really can't sit still. I'm a fairy. So this is why I chose my business to not have a brick and mortar. I don't, I come to you, I come to your venue. I set up in your space, and I provide my services to your space. And so, aside from those services, I have the commission services. And so that is flourishing as well. So everything seems to kind of really work out in my favor. And I can't think, I can't be grateful, any more grateful every day. I think it's these opportunities come to me, and trust me, I've had a lot of closed doors too. Like it's not, it's not all receiving. It's also searching out and looking and finding what's for you.
Right.
And
so we'll get back into some of these questions I have for you in just a moment. I want to make sure that we have enough time to finish this.
Okay.
So what's the next step on the
the next step, we're gonna do a tree.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and do our stump. Let's go ahead and grab.
Which brush am I gonna use?
You're gonna grab. Let's see. Grab brush number.
I got it.
You got it. Brush number 6. Yeah, you got that one.
Number 8.
We can number 8 works too. That's fine.
I don't think I have a number 6, but we'll go with number 8.
Okay. All right. We're gonna make a brown, so let's go ahead and just grab some black and yellow and red.
Black and yellow and what?
Red. Mhm. And if you want to lighten that up, you can use a little bit more white too.
Okay.
And you get a nice little brown.
I see it. Okay.
Magic.
Yeah. I mean, it's a dark brown, but like I said, let's get some white in there.
You put a little bit of white, and then if you want a little bit more of like a brownish, just add a little bit more red and a little bit more yellow.
This is looking pretty gray.
Okay. Go yellow.
Yellow.
More yellow.
Okay.
You getting there?
What do you think? You see that?
Okay, more yellow.
Huh?
A lot more yellow.
A lot more yellow?
A lot more yellow.
A lot more yellow.
There you go.
All right, that's brown.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. So I like to roll my brush so that it kind of keeps sort of like a point. I know it gets kind of caked down with all the paint that's on
Okay.
it, but if you roll it, gives you kind of still like a point. And for
I'm not doing what you're
that's
doing.
okay.
It's not working the
Go
same
ahead.
way.
So when
I
you
promise.
put pressure on the brush, we're just gonna put a straight line all the way up towards the middle.
Okay. Starting in the middle?
Yep, all the way up.
Oh, all the way.
All the way. And then our tree is going to have some branches. So
Oh, you got a skinny. My tree's a little fat. That's okay, right? Okay.
That's fine. I was actually gonna. The thing is you can always go thicker. You can't go thinner, right?
Right.
So I was gonna make mine thick anyway. So towards the bottom, we're just
giving
gonna
a little
add
bit
some
of a little bit of an angle. I feel like I'm cheating on a test when I look over it.
Little stumps. That's okay.
All right.
Now keep in mind that when I do paint parties, it is more of a step-by-step instruction type of
and
thing.
you have more time.
Yes, yes.
How long are your paint parties usually?
2 hours.
Okay.
Yep, from
and
start to
we're
finish.
doing a half an hour.
Right.
Which actually now we're about. Would you say we're halfway through the painting?
Yes.
All right. And we got about 10 minutes left.
That's right.
So.
All
right.
And then you just want to add a little bit more branches to the side.
All right. So we're gonna do a little happy.
With very light pressure.
A little happy branch there.
So the lighter the pressure, the finer the lines.
Okay.
Go ahead and make your little branches.
Oh, that's a tough looking branch.
Okay, we're gonna cover it all up in a minute. Painting's very forgiving, by the way. Some people tend to disagree.
All right. So while we're doing that, I do want to talk about your business and how you started it, the beginnings of your business. So I know you not only from Nuestra and that venture that we went on together, but also you're an alumni of a program that I was also part of, E4All, which is Entrepreneurship for All. And tell me a little bit about how your business started and then where it went into E4All and how it maybe blossomed a little.
So I did not know this. So remember when I told you about, getting out there and signing up for vendors and getting out in the community? I was actually at a event with Carolyn, as you may know.
Yes.
With
World shout out to Carolyn. World of Foods.
Shout out. Right. So World of Foods Worcester, and I was vending here at Elm Park, and I was sat out by 2 leaders. One was Jose Castro, who happened to be the director of E4All, and Elizabeth Cruz, who was the president of the Latin American Business Organization, or is the president of the Latin American Business Organization. And so I don't know who they are, right? But they came to my vendor table and they loved what they saw, and they saw, my love and my passion for what I was doing, and they believed in me. I stuck out. And so Jose invited me to the program. Elizabeth also invited me to join the organization. And so I did. And I was thankful to have went through the interview process, and I was selected to be part of the program. Mm-hmm. So during the program, I got some amazing mentors, and pivoted, ever since then, after I learned, entrepreneurs after first quarter, it gets extremely busy for them. So, they kind of faded out, which was fine. But I was able to gain a lot of knowledge through my mentors and in such a short period of time. And E4All really created this really beautiful community for us small business owners to be able to kind of keep going and give us the motivation to just do what you're doing, So I was very, very happy and grateful to have gone through all of that.
Now, speaking of community, because you brought that up, I want to know how you feel the community has impacted your business, especially post E4All, where you were able to grow and expand your network. How'd that work out for you? And let's get some more color on here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So we're gonna use the same brush.
Okay.
Use the same brush, just clean it off, and we're gonna start adding some color to it.
Okay.
So we can do yellow leaves, we can do red leaves, we can
Okay.
do
So we need a
orange
couple of different colors.
leaves. Yep.
Okay.
Green leaves if you choose. And then to do that, we're just going to add just little
So we're
dashes
just gonna
everywhere.
dot everywhere.
Yeah, dot everywhere. It could be on the sky. It can be on your tree. It can overlap your tree.
Okay.
And
All right.
it's gonna
And
decorate the
so,
whole
how
thing.
did the community impact the business?
So I took what I learned from April and I said, you know what, the city, yes, I'm a city girl. I reside in Charlton, right? And it's a very small town and doesn't have as much access to a lot of the programs that the city has. And there's so many. I also learned that there's so many creatives already in Worcester too.
Yeah.
So I said, why not start in my own backyard? And I decided to join the Cultural Arts Council there.
Okay.
And provide paint party workshops for the local senior center too. Because again, I've always had my little soft spot for my seniors too. So I provide paint workshops for my seniors. I do the same. They get the same level of entertainment as any other client would. And I do a step by step with them, and we paint. We paint together every other month, which I'm very, it's a great time. So aside from that, I also had collaborated with the town of Leicester through Bree. So Bree,
Okay.
she
Shout out to Bree Sweet Treats.
yes, Bree. So she, reached out to me in regards to a local event that she had in her town of Leicester. And so I collaborated with Leicester Care and the town of Leicester to provide a creative space for their festivals there. And so what I did there was I set up my vendor table as well, and I just provided mini canvases for families and littles to come and paint. So, the goal here is just to, allow people to find that creative outlet to express themselves and have fun and get creative and release all that stress and tension that the everyday life, throws at you, because it's just.
My leaves are really big, by the way.
I love your leaves. There's nothing wrong with your leaves, okay? But yeah, and you can just dab them all around.
So how do you deal with painters like me that are very insecure about their painting? Because I don't think I have an artistic bone in my body.
I think you're doing absolutely great. It's a lot of words of encouragement.
Yours is dope.
Thank
yours
you.
is really dope.
Okay,
but you're the artist, right?
But then again,
because yours actually look like leaves, mine look like blobs.
No, but that's just it. I mean, trees aren't perfect, leaves aren't perfect.
Okay, look at that leaf,
it's
man.
gorgeous.
That came out pretty good.
Yeah, and it's all in the pressure too. So you just just put like little tiny dabs everywhere. But I just
They want to see it. You guys want to see it? All right, we're gonna show it
awesome.
in just a moment because we're actually almost done.
Yes.
And so one thing I really want to talk about, because we have an election coming up, is voting.
Yes.
And we don't have to go too much into it, but I really want to know, what is your stance around voting? Is it important that we get involved in our presidential election that we're going through right now?
Absolutely. I've already voted.
Hey, okay, girl,
Yes.
I haven't even already voted.
I chose the I always choose the mail-in ballot option because I don't know what life throws at me.
Right.
So when they released that option, I signed up for it. I sign up for it every year. I just because I know myself, and so I received it in the mail and I filled it out and it's on its way. I think it's very important for everyone to have a say in what goes on in our country and what goes on in our community. So yes, and I have heard people say, "Well, I'm not voting this year," and it's kind of.
What do you think about that? Because a lot of people are saying that because they don't like either candidate, which I guess is understandable, to each his own.
I say pick your poison.
Really?
Yes, because life. So this is the thing with life. Nothing good. Everything good comes with the bad. Okay, and we're not always going to have that 100%. If I buy this product, I'm gonna love it 100%. You may find that this product may not be everything you thought it to be, or maybe it'll over exceed your expectations. Right. So pick the better bad, if that makes sense. If you only have two options, pick whichever one you believe, you know, could possibly make the better difference.
Yeah, and it's a personal decision, whatever most resonates with you.
Yes.
Obviously, I have my opinions. We all do. But I feel like it's very important that we don't really push our opinions on others, but really
Mhm.
encourage them to do what's right. And at the very least, go get registered to vote. It's really simple. Go to vote.org. Put in the
Yes, it's in my
information. If
button.
you're already registered, they'll let you know. And if you're not registered, it literally takes 2 minutes to register to vote. And then show up to vote because it can
Change
mean
it
the
huge.
better or worse in your own lives. And yeah, go see John at the Worcester Public Library. He will be there November 5th this year. Okay, I still have the 6th in my head. Was that the last election? I don't know. I have November 6th, but November 5th this year. Go visit John at the Worcester Public Library, get your vote in, and go to vote.org to learn more. The link is gonna be above November 5th. Yeah, we got it. All right,
Okay.
cool. Um, and then lastly, I want to know a little bit about what your future plans are. Where do you see uh, NV Creations going from here?
I continue to do what I'm doing now. I am actually reaching out to 10 local businesses here in Worcester. If you are a local business who has a brick and mortar that needs help getting clients in the door, I am at your service at right now at no cost to you. So
Okay.
yes, please reach out. If you go to my website at nvcreativearts.com, my phone number is right at the tippity top. It's right in front of your face. It's 508-797-7973. Reach out to me. I would love to coordinate a on-site paint party with our small businesses. Again, we are all out here to support one another in what we love to do and what we aspire to do. And I would love to be of service to help grow your business as well.
Absolutely, and I think that's such an amazing thing to basically change. When you go to like corporate parties or whatever, it's kind of a drag. Like some wine, some networking, talking, and that's about it. This is a way to bring a little bit more excitement into your business parties or even private parties.
Right, and even if you don't have an artistic bone in your body,
which I don't.
You
We'll see in a moment.
Something amazing.
It's cute. It's cute. I'm not gonna lie. But then I'm looking at yours and I'm like,
listen, mine. I mean, we all have
down here.
Yes, the thing is everyone we get like this painter syndrome too, where everyone likes everyone else's too. But
is that what it is?
Yes, that's exactly.
We can never do. My
But
smaller leaves down here look better. That's the other thing. How come at the end of when we're done painting, we figure it out? Because it looks a little more like yours now.
Yeah.
Than it did before.
How do you figure it out? I mean, you trust the process.
And you just learn as you go.
Just like life, just trust the process.
All right, we really got to go. So let's show off our pictures. Before we do that, any shout outs?
Any shout outs? Oh my goodness. I wish I had my list of people. I have such a huge community. I know.
Sign these too, by the way?
Shout out to Ephraim. Shout out to Bree Sweet Treats. Shout out to Marcia, who does the she not only does she do catering, but she
Palette Paradise?
Yes. No, is it Palette Paradise? Yes.
I think it's Palette Paradise. And she does
the LED.
The photo booth thing?
Yes, the photo booth. And then I have Diane, who's also part of my amazing community. There's so many people.
Princess parties.
I know. So many people. I love you all. Shout out to Natalie. Again, I don't ever under acknowledge her because she helped me put my first foot down. So
and what are your socials so people can get in touch with you?
So follow me on NV Creations. You do have my website at nvcreativearts.com, and I also have Instagram at nv_creative_arts.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna do a who did it better. Put the comments in below. Was it below? In the comments. Was it mine or was it her?
Super simple. Super simple.
What do you think? Huh?
Thank you, Manny, for doing this with me. I'm I'm proud of you.
You gotta bring yours down a little bit. Is that good? We got them both? Hey. Thank you so much. I appreciate you teaching me and for hanging out with me today and for letting me know a little bit not only about MV Creations and your business, but about yourself and the journey you went through.
And if you guys ever want to know more about me, feel free to reach out on my website. You guys can actually schedule to meet with me for free. Just book yourselves online, and I would love to collaborate with every single one of you.
Excellent. Nayari, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You're the best. Much love. And thank you all for tuning in with us again here on Interviews at Manny J Media, community delivered. It's your boy Manny. What's
Nayari
this?
with Envy Creations.
I got it. What is this? No, talk about this real quick.
So these are one of my prints for my artwork.
I forgot about that.
Yes, feel free to check online as well. But these
all right,
are
so these are available.
Yes, they are available.
Okay, so you can go to the website, find out more about the prints. Thank you so much. No one's ever done that before. At the very, very end, this is your boy Manny, Manny J Media, community delivered. We'll see you real soon. Peace.
Bye.